All right, good morning, everyone. Yeah, every day has something new in store for us, and today it is the fact that our video on our switcher for some reason isn't coming out in the mix. Not sure why. Nothing was changed. No, nothing was changed. So anyways, it is what it is. Learning process, new system, new buttons, all that stuff. Thanks for being with us, CKLU 96.7 FM. I do know that we're on there. Oh, the server is not available. Stop recording. Podcast. Continue recording. Yes. So the server is not available. That's bizarre. Again, first time in history. Never happened before. Always a new challenge. I guess if there's antagonists of the show and they're hackers or whatever, they'd easily be able to get in and do weird things. But
I don't think we're there yet.
I don't think we're there yet. But anyways, maybe you want to stop it before it gets somewhere. I have no idea. But again, every day there's just a new thing seems to happen. I don't know.
Technology.
Hopefully we're still on. We're on Facebook Live.
Yep.
And YouTube Live. So hopefully we're there. And still on CKLU 96.7 FM. You can listen to us also online. If you have the Firefox browser or if you download the Radio Player Canada app, you can listen to us anytime, anywhere on your favorite device. And as you can hear, with me today, I have my guest in the hot seat, Anik Gervais.
Hello.
She is a star of the second season of Big Brother Canada.
Oh dear.
Also has her own show that she does online, similar to this, but to a wider audience around the world, The Anik Show. So you can catch her whenever she goes live. And I think you went live yesterday. Is that true?
Yeah, and the day before. I've been a little bit consistent. It's not really my thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. So how could people catch your show if they want to tune into it?
I guess you can just go follow on Facebook. You could find it at The Anik Show or on my Instagram, The Anik Show. And I'm pretty consistent on my Instagram called Anecdotes.
So ANICK Dotes.
Yeah, DOTES.
There you go.
It's kind of like your daily anecdote.
You're yes.
Just trying to bring more love to the world and bring more positivity because we need it.
And how is that going? How are you enjoying that?
Oh, it's definitely part of my personality. It's something that I've been learning about, doing the inner work, that's one of my purpose. It's one of my gifts, actually, that I like to bring in positivity. You know, when you see negativity, it's kind of an opportunity to grow and be like, oh, I don't like this. So how about I change it? And how about I become the change?
No, for sure. And who else makes more sense to be the change other than ourselves for ourselves?
Right. Like if we all healed ourselves, I think we'd heal the world.
Yeah. That's been my my philosophy, you know, in friendships and marriage and partnerships, is that if you're focused on your own self and being the best self you can be, you really don't have time to look at the other person anyways and their faults when you're busy looking at your own. And then the other person can see you working on yourself anyways, and they respect that. And then the result is you have a better chance of them then looking at themselves and making changes instead of you pointing at the other person's differences and challenges.
Yeah, totally. When we're doing also the work, you kind of realize that everyone's a reflection of you.
Yeah.
So if there's something you don't like in someone else, it's a reflection of something that you don't like in yourself. And if you have the courage to actually look at that, then you could like release that type of emotion or the blockage and learn that. It's pretty powerful stuff.
Hugely powerful. And like you said, that could actually change the world.
Yeah.
Not only stuff. So there's the parable of whatever, or a story of some king that tried to change the world and couldn't, and then tried to change his nation and then couldn't, and then tried to change his city, couldn't. And then on his deathbed, he realized if he had only changed himself, he could have done all those things. So anyways, I don't know. I don't even know if that's
No, that makes
true
sense.
story, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I like
Right.
it.
So, but that is true. I think working on ourselves. I think we're our own worst enemies too. We don't want to be too hard on ourselves at the same time.
Yeah, we gotta give ourselves some grace
Yeah.
because learning is hard, and like looking inside and wondering how you can be a better person, that takes courage. That is difficult.
Yeah, it does. But no, we're not perfect.
Nope.
Nobody
Is.
is. And but don't actually be too hard. Don't be too easy on yourself either, because you can get into that where, oh, I'm good no matter what, and everyone should just accept me.
Yeah,
And
I meet so many people who are just content in life, and
yeah,
I'm like secretly jealous, but not really, because
hmm
me not being content makes me want to be a better person and grow. Because if you're not learning, you're dying. Like there's nothing in
yeah,
nature that isn't either growing or dying.
yeah,
So if you're not constantly growing or learning or opening up to different things,
yeah,
how are we supposed to grow? So some people are just like okay with their automatic 9 to 5 job. And I'm just like, yeah, no. But I think it's because people don't even realize they're suffering,
no,
and it's a distraction. So this busyness that we are constantly doing, and what's going on in the world and what's going on in the news, it's constant distraction, distraction, distraction
yes,
to pull us away from the truth
yep,
in our inner self. We don't even need 90% of the things that we actually do.
kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And I think if you take inventory of that, of what you just said, like a lot of us might feel we're not as happy as we want to be, right? And I think the things we do in life are ultimately so that way we can be happy. Why else would you do anything? If you watch a movie, isn't it just so you can be happy?
Yeah, to
Like,
give yourself some entertainment.
yeah, you're entertaining yourself for the end result of being happy to some extent. If you eat at a restaurant, you're going along the street and you're wondering which restaurant is going to make you the happiest to eat at the time. So you're like, yeah, which one's going to, oh, yeah, I feel like that. It's going to make me happy. Everything we do
Everything we do,
is the result of hopefully,
our own happiness.
yeah, making us happy.
If you even realize it or not. It's
Yeah.
like it's a subconscious thing. Even what you say, even
Yeah.
being a people pleaser.
Yeah.
Everything is kind of to better suit yourself. It's because we go in survival mode.
Yeah,
It's all about survival.
it is. And yeah, I think we make some really good poignant points. Anyways, just learning through life experience, that's what I found. Anyways, and I find I'm the happiest when I'm looking at the core things, because some things are fleetingly happy, and some things are more deeper
Like
happy,
not instant
right?
gratification.
That's right.
Yeah,
Like a piece of candy can make me happy for a few seconds.
true. Long-term investments here.
Yeah,
We're running a marathon. It's not a sprint.
yeah, exactly. Like if you're putting $1 a day away, that's not making you happy right away. $1 a day, $1 a day. That's not really creating happiness instantaneously. However, in about 30 years from now,
Yeah, that's a lot of money, and
yes, you
it's
get pretty
it's
happy.
more than just $1 a day if you really think about it on a larger spectrum.
Mhm.
Because what you're learning along the way of being consistent and putting $1 away,
Yeah,
and how when people around you look that this is what you're doing, you're inspiring a lot of people,
yeah,
and I feel like it multiplies more than just the $1 a day. If
for
that makes
sure,
any sense.
100%. And I know, so this gives a little sample of the kind of things you can catch on the Nick show, because a Nick is just kind of an open book, right? Would you say?
100%.
Yeah, like
I got no shame.
yeah,
Probably too much TMI,
yeah. I
going
think.
on my show.
Well, again, but that's your thing. Not everyone can do that. Not everyone feels comfortable doing that, but you definitely do, and that's what you bring to the table. You're kind of like a maybe you live like a radio station or something where you're tuned into something, and it just kind of flows through. It's
This
like
is true.
you know what I mean, and you sometimes channel really cool things doing that, right?
Thanks.
Because yeah, no,
Yeah, I believe that because you're tapping into your gift.
yeah,
And for some reason, our society, it's like you can't tap yourself on the back and think that you have gifts and think that you're amazing. And I'm like, no, you have to tap yourself
Yeah.
on the back. You have to be your biggest fan.
Yeah.
You have to love yourself.
and all that being said, like so we gave we talked about two really cool things, and one is looking inside and making changes.
Mm-hmm.
But if you believe you're the greatest and there's nothing you could do wrong, and you overly go that way, then you neglect the fact that you could be a work in progress and be getting better, you don't want to go too far that way either, but you do also want to encourage yourself and look at the beautiful thing that you are just as you are, because
Yeah.
you are that. Even though you're not perfect, you can still be,
The imperfection is
yeah,
actually what makes you beautiful.
yeah,
So we have to stop looking at our faults as faults. It's actually an opportunity for us to grow.
exactly.
Is when we look at our faults, like, why is that there? Why am I like that?
Yeah,
What's my inner child? I'm doing so much work with my inner child.
exactly.
So many of us have inner child trauma, and we just grow up and think it's fine. It's like,
Yeah,
no, you got to look within and just like love that person, like legit hug your inner child inside of you. Have visualization of you hugging
yeah,
that person, and it's people get really emotional doing it because we're not just tangible flesh humans. We're so much
yeah.
more.
And inside, we all are that child still. Like there's
We never really grow up.
no, and the older we get, we realize that, and sometimes we remember older people telling us that when we're young, like goes really fast. Make sure to make the most of every day, and you're like, yeah, whatever, whatever. When you're young, you don't realize,
We
right?
don't.
But you do grow up really fast, and you realize you don't seem older. You seem still younger. Like when someone, what was the first time you ever had someone call you ma'am? Do you remember that or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, wait a minute.
I am not a ma'am.
Yeah, or a sir. Like I
Or
remember
someone
saying,
asks me for ID, I'm like, really? Oh,
yeah,
actually, no, that's different. But I do not feel my age.
no,
I always do these exercises and I just like lift my hands up in the air and I just like envision me still being 10 years younger and like feeling that self because I'm like, does time really actually exist? Can I
yeah,
stop aging?
yeah. I think that's a complex question. Does time really exist? And I think it does exist here.
Yes.
Although I think it's just relative to here, and I think outside of here, I think time is a whole other different thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's a sample of what you can catch with following a Nick. You can just look up herself on her personal Facebook page.
If you just Google or search Anik Gervais, you will find a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, because are there any other Nick Gervais out there?
Nope, I am the one and only.
Isn't that cool? Because there are other AJ Walshes and Aaron Walshes out there. So if I just wanted to tell someone, just Google my name, it wouldn't just come back to me.
Right.
Whereas you, that's simple, which is cool
It is so
for
cool.
being an online
It's like unique.
presence. It's unique.
Oh, snap. That was
Whatever.
good.
Yeah, you can do a lot with that name, and we know that already.
So, Aaron, how's the weather today?
Yeah, the weather, it is really, really good. And thanks for that segue, by the way. So I
Yeah.
was like, I'm going to get into the weather. So, but I can't play the little thing because the sound isn't coming out for some reason.
Okay.
Because we have a brand new system here, and there's probably a button that needs to be pressed or something that's not. Anyways, so 13 degrees currently, 91% humidity, and today it's going to be cloudy, 30% chance of showers, and then changing to 70% chance of showers near noon. So risk of a thunderstorm this afternoon. Haven't we been getting quite a bit of rain lately? Did you notice that?
I think yeah, actually,
Tons.
lately, last week we got a bunch. Yesterday we got a bunch. So,
Yeah.
driving here, it was a bit foggy.
Was it this morning?
This morning.
Because yesterday there was a fog warning. There wasn't one today, but today you noticed the fog?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it felt like September, guys. Like
Oh, yes. Last night I went for a walk and that's what it felt like.
I'm like, oh my gosh, we might get like not that long of a summer.
I know.
That's what I'm sensing.
Oh, don't sense that.
I like fall.
Please.
I love jeans. I want to wear some high-waisted,
Yeah, okay.
straight-leg jeans.
I like fall too. I just don't like what's coming after it
It's true.
for a long time. Like
I know.
if we had like a 2-month winter or something,
Bring it.
get out and enjoy it. But wow, seems like 6 months. You got to have your winter tires on for 6 months of the year, and then you get 6 months of other stuff, and it's
true.
mixed. Like you can't even really enjoy it because you got mosquitoes. First of all, as soon as you want to get out and enjoy the evenings, which are really nice, you got these
It's true. Tires. Tires are expensive too.
They are.
Do you know who has the best prices in town?
I do.
Yeah. Wire's Your Tire.
Yes, they do. I got for our 3 vehicles, and we do have 3 vehicles just because we have a lot of commotion going on around here. So we have your old van.
Yeah.
You're so nice to, to depart with. Anyways, it needed new tires. So, and then we have the 2 matching cars that we got for a really good deal for 2 really good friends and family that allowed that to happen or made that happen for us. Anyway, so we needed tires for 3 vehicles, and we got them from Voyageur Tire. And you do have like an inside scoop on that.
I have
too.
an inside scoop. My brother owns that place.
And your dad was the one that sold it to him. So your dad had it,
Yeah.
sold it to your brother. So, but anyways, it's not just a plug just because it's in the family. They actually do have the best prices in town.
They do.
And I would say possibly the best service as well.
They're amazing. Steve and Jeff.
Yeah.
They're amazing out there. They sometimes will just put a plug in your tire and not charge you. That goes a long way, You'll talk about it for ages.
Well, I think you got that from me. I told you that story when I was on my way to a test to Cambrian, and I was basically just barely on time, and I got a flat, and luckily they were actually on the way to Cambrian from where I was. So as the tire was getting flatter and flatter, basically I pulled in the driveway just as it was going flat, and I went in. I said, and I was willing to pay them anything. I was willing. If they said $500 to fix my tire at that time, it would have been worth it because I needed to get to my test.
Yeah.
And he said, free of charge.
Oh.
I couldn't believe.
Maybe let's not tell my brother, the owner.
Oh, yeah.
No, but it goes a long way. Look, we're talking about it right now.
And I went to get 3 sets of winter tires.
After that.
And a set of all season too. So I got 4 sets of tires. And because of that, I entered my name into a contest. Had, every time you had a new set of tires, you fill out a ballot, put it in the ballot box, and entered for a chance to win a really cool fridge, which is like a Michelin fridge. It looks like a tool chest, but it is some drawers. You can put some tools in there, but it's also a fridge. And I won.
So cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what
you
paying forward does.
Yeah.
That's when you're good, when you give more than you take, look.
Possibly, yes.
Totally. When you do good things happen. And in business, I feel like they are just constantly taking advantage.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of interesting to have a bit of a part of us talking about local businesses on the show.
Well, we should. No, that is definitely part of the future of the show.
So if we can ask the people watching, like, what's we can talk about different categories and which ones, like, who's your favorite restaurant? We can talk about that.
Yeah. Yep.
Who's your favorite, whatever.
Like we can have a day of the week where you have a segment where chime in business of the week or something like that.
Yeah.
And then each week is a different segment. So one week it's mechanics.
Because mechanics, like you're always looking for a good mechanic.
Yeah, that's one where you can get taken advantage of very
Yes.
easily. So so all this to say, tonight it'll be cloudy. 70% chance of showers. More showers, for crying out loud.
Wow.
Changing to 30% chance of showers in the evening. Risk of thunderstorm early in the evening. My goodness, is there anything good going to happen here? I don't know. Well, let's just share the screen just to see the long range forecast.
Well, we do need rain.
You need rain, but do you need that much rain? I don't know.
Well, if that's what nature's doing.
Now Saturday's mainly cloudy. Yesterday it was mainly sunny when we were doing the weather. Now it's mainly cloudy and then sunny for Sunday, high of 27, and then Monday is the sunny day.
I never look at the weather channel because I feel like they're always wrong.
That's the thing. It can be wrong, and that's just it's just one of those things that we
It's just a perspective.
But anyways,
And it changes.
Yeah, gives you a guess. You can
I guess.
kind of take
Like
it
in
with a
case
grain of
you
salt.
may bring your umbrella.
Yeah.
It's the only real thing that's good about the weather. Like maybe bring an umbrella and you may need it.
If it says 80% chance of thunder showers, then good thing to bring an umbrella just in case.
Yep.
So Monday is a holiday for some people in Sudbury. It's a civic holiday, whatever that means for you and your job or your, whatever you're doing. It could be a holiday. So you've heard it here first or not on this show.
There you
go. Yeah. Also, talking with Rob, the station manager of CKLU, yesterday we had a long conversation on the phone, and there's some concerns because of the Laurentian situation,
Right.
back when Doug Ford changed the way that money was funneled to university stations, radio, and newspapers.
Okay.
They said that now students can have the option. They are automatically not going to be giving $10 a year towards the station or towards the
Oh
paper.
no.
And they would have to now opt in. So whenever you're a student, you have like a back office kind of thing, and you're able to pick certain things. Do I want to contribute to this thing in the university or the college or whatever?
So now there's other options that they could put their $10 towards?
So now instead of it automatically being there and you got to go in and click off, like I don't want to pay,
Right.
it's automatically off and you got to go in and click on. I want to give $10.
So if I don't click anything, where does the $10 go?
To me, I don't have to pay it.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? So which student
Is gonna want to
is
pay.
going to want to pay $10 for a service or whatever that they may or may not see the value of, right? Paper, radio.
So this is not good news for this radio.
It's not good for the station, no. And it's the student body, the SGA, the student governing body,
Right.
that makes that decision. And they could easily just turn
Why
it around.
would they make that decision?
That's a good question. We don't know this.
Because this is run by students, isn't it? Mostly?
Well, it was, but I think over time maybe radio lost its appeal to younger people. Is that or not? Is that a thing or not? You're younger than me. So would you think if you tell someone I'm on the radio, is that as big as like a podcast or a...
Definitely not.
Exactly, right?
And I listen to Spotify all the time now.
See? So I think it's lost its meaning or even whatever to the younger generation, and so they don't really see the value. But it's going to die if somehow something isn't reversed. Where
Right.
if we just make it's a simple thing. And Laurentian University is one of only 2 universities that do it this way for some strange reason. Like, I keep scratching my head on some of the things we do
Decisions, yeah.
here in Sudbury. Is it something in the water?
Definitely.
I don't know.
If you're still drinking tap water with that fluoride, I don't know that
Possibly, yeah. But all that to say, to bring this up, that I was talking to Rob yesterday, and he said that, on the show, you have to make sure there's a disclaimer.
Okay.
We used to have it on the wall when we were doing the show from CKLU.
Right.
It was on the wall, so I would just read it. But now I think I could probably say it verbatim. But the views on this show, Sudbury News Talk, do not necessarily reflect those of CKLU or those of Laurentian University.
All right.
Yeah,
Where did you read that?
I was just from my head.
Oh, wow. Impressive.
Well, you're easily impressed. So,
You know what? I am. I think that's a good thing. It's a good thing.
yeah, so we say things on this show
Right.
that don't necessarily mean that everyone at CKLU has the same views.
You would think that would be obvious, but in today's world, it is not.
It's not. And
We
there's
need a disclaimer.
and there's a station in Quebec that's been taken to court
Oh,
because
no.
someone complained and whatever of something that was said. And so you're just doing your hair there?
Well, I was thinking I would like pigtails, I think.
Okay.
All right.
Me too.
If you're listening in your car, just know that we are live on Facebook and it makes more sense.
Yeah. And
Sometimes.
and YouTube, Facebook and YouTube. So if you could, I know even Miles, who listens to the show every single day and watches.
We also get Jerome. He's always
Jerome
watching.
is right
and
now.
VR Durrett.
Yeah.
She's always watching.
Always?
When I'm on the show, maybe.
Oh yeah, probably more when you're on the show, which you do have your own
Peeps.
peeps, right? So Jerome talking about the weather here. Weather Channel has become just another propaganda tool. Yeah, possibly. The media, it's part of the media, right? And I love my weather window. Yeah, just looking outside, right? Exactly.
Right.
Look outside. What does it look like today? Dress accordingly, plan accordingly. Exactly. So I was going to get those little weather stations for a while. Oh, yeah. I was going to get those little weather stations you can buy. So that way I have my own data, like to tell me, and then I could forecast the weather just based on that. They're actually not all that expensive either. You put them on the corner of your house or something,
Oh,
and it reads the everything.
that's pretty
You know?
cool.
Yeah.
Never knew that
It's
existed.
actually not all that expensive, and you can get them, and it comes on your phone and everything. And for this show, I should probably invest in that,
Or not.
or get a business to sponsor the weather and just buy it.
Yeah.
You know, this weather.
Are we allowed to have sponsorships on the show?
On the show? Yeah,
Okay.
we can get a business to buy us a weather little kit, buy us, pay
Talk about them?
talk about them. Yeah. Well, just saying alone, they bought. Every show you could say this.
Weather
Brought
thing
to you. Yeah.
brought to you by.
Because they paid for it, kind of
cool.
thing. Why not? Yeah. And CKLU too. CKLU, as I kind of started mentioning, really needs support. It really does. We need to rally people together to continue to keep this Sudbury, it is a staple that you need. You need community radio. You need a voice. You need a place where people can come.
There's always going
share
to
their
be
views.
radio. There might not always be internet. Like,
Yeah.
in a sense, because they could
Kind of
shut
thing.
down internet,
Yeah.
the power, but there's always radio stations.
You can have radio stations without internet. That's correct.
Right. But you can't.
Can't have a podcast or whatever and get it out there without the internet, though.
Or radio.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't
Radio.
have podcasts on a radio.
Well, yeah, you can now. Like the internet, like that's a good thing too. Like for the students that they don't realize they can actually produce their podcast on the radio and just record it, and now it's a podcast. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
what
I
we
feel
do.
like this should maybe be
Well,
go
that-
on Spotify or something.
Well, that's what I do. It's all archived. Every show. I could actually put this up on Spotify, but
Because if you have
One step
an
at a time, right?
RSS feed,
Yeah.
it just literally feeds
yeah.
Spotify. Because I've been looking into that, but I'm not really consistent.
So we have Jenny Lynn coming in on YouTube here. So if you're on YouTube, you can see her comment. Unfortunately, when you have when I share it, it only shows 2 lines. But I think she's basically going to talk about "Video Killed the Radio Star." You know that song?
Yes.
Video killed. I'm not
The
going to sing.
radio
Oh, thank
star.
you for completing that. That's awesome. So yeah, that's exactly right. You need radio. You definitely do.
Jerome says, how can open dialogue be considered detrimental to an institution of higher education?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Well, we don't know the reasons. We're trying to speculate, and they don't like the paper even more than they don't like the radio. And what does journalism do usually? What is it supposed to do?
Make you think?
And
Aware?
yeah, it's basically.
News?
So let's say someone wants to do something that's maybe people, if they knew about it, wouldn't really like what they're doing, right?
Right?
So if the newspaper writes something about the student association that they did or they're going to do or that isn't really favorable to them, they're not going to like that very much. And it's the only thing. What do you think Sudbury.com is going to write about the student association at Laurentian University? No, it's not a story anyone in the community is really all that cares about. But they do at Laurentian. Like the students care about what the student body is doing,
Yeah.
and the paper will write about it. So if you don't have a paper to write about stuff,
Right.
it's a little bit of a microcosm of our society in a way.
It's true.
Does the government really like real journalism?
Well,
Do you think?
I feel like it's obvious. No.
And why wouldn't they?
Well, because I feel like they always have an agenda.
Yeah. So
They literally, like politicians will say, if I become in power, this is my agenda. This is what I'm going to do.
exactly.
Like, it's just, there's always a plan.
And that's the thing. So, at Laurentian, it seems to. We don't know. We're trying to speculate. Why are they so anti the radio station and the newspaper? It really
Like,
doesn't
you
make any
really
sense.
care where the students' $10 go?
That's what I mean, right? To a student, sure, it could seem like $10 is a lot, but it's very wasted. You go to Starbucks and you buy one mochaccino,
Oh my
kukaduku, whatever it's called.
gosh. That's $7 a day.
Yeah. So one whatever pays, and it collectively all the students are contributing. Wow. Now you keep an iconic something that's a staple in our community alive for the cost of one mochaccino chichi-chuchu,
Yeah.
whatever it's called at Starbucks.
I refuse to buy from Starbucks.
Yeah. So again, right? So and again, they can opt out of it. So that's the thing. You're not forcing the students to give the $10. You are just saying it's going to be given, but you have the opportunity now to go in and uncheck the thing and take your money back. Because as a student, and I was recently a student, and even as a 45-year-old student, I was kind of lazy. And I wasn't going to go into that portal. I was just like, whatever. I don't have the time. I'm not going to deal with it. And so that then would just alone keep the lights on, keep the radio waves going. So if you are someone of any kind of influence or whatever, you know you can make some kind of change, or you are a student that cares about this and could possibly utilize this station to do your own podcast. Come in, we could train you how to basically have software that records it. Look, the sound quality is amazing, broadcast quality. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to buy the mics. You don't have to buy anything. It's all done for you. And you can have a podcast.
It's pretty cool.
You just get a Spotify account?
Yeah.
And you can upload it. And you got your podcast. So
maybe I should do my podcast on CKLU.
There you go. Why not?
Get shut down with my
I don't
TMI.
know. Yeah. And you did.
Information.
And again, right, so the views on this program do not necessarily reflect those of CKLU or that of Laurentian University. So you could also share your point of view, and it doesn't have to reflect the university or the station either. And that is the great thing. So that actually keeps
journalism alive.
Yeah, even it's citizen.
Yeah.
Citizen journalism to some extent, because it's your findings, it's your point of view.
Yep.
Whatever. It's so important to the city. I just got to say that. And the SGA, the student council, the student body, is basically a gatekeeper in the way of stopping like some very easily attained financial money. Historically, the way it's always come in to the station, that's the way it's been.
And I'd like to know, was there 100 people who've complained about this $10? Like, why?
No.
Exactly. No one's probably complained about this.
Everyone's scratching their head because Doug Ford came out and said he didn't want students to have to pay this. But then the courts forced him to change it back. Said that's not right. The courts actually forced the government that they cannot meddle in this. But Laurentian universities, for some reason, went, wait a minute, we like that idea, and kept
probably because they're getting backlash that tuition is too expensive. So that how can we bring tuition lower?
Yeah.
Well, we can unclick this button.
Sure.
They're going to save $10, and then they're going to make it look like, tuition went down $10.
Could be political, right? Like we are fighting for your tuition to come down. Meanwhile, if they would say it's going to only come down $10, they go, well, it's not really doing anything. But politically, you can always say, yeah, we're fighting for you.
$10. Yeah.
We lowered it.
Yeah. Just lowered it.
We lowered your tuition.
I won't tell you how much.
That's right. So that's the thing. That's what can happen politically.
Yep.
Things like that, right? So.
What's going on in the local news today, Aaron?
And Nick, you're just the segue queen today. Segue queen. Well, first of all, I want to start off with saying we had someone, we had our guest, Pierre Benham, on, and he had somebody listening to his show from Memphis, Tennessee. You ever been there?
Nope.
I thought you had for some reason.
Well, I've been to Nashville.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, Nashville. But you went to Nashville. This is from someone in Memphis.
Cool.
This is where Elvis comes from.
Ooh.
Yeah, huge, amazing, musically historical city. Since I was listening to your show with AJ the other day, and I have some feedback, we were talking about. Anyway, so he goes, I love the future of Sudbury topic. Both sounded clear and knowledgeable. Sometimes the bandwidth was whatever. But anyways, goes. The Joker says, this town needs an enema. Yes. So that was in one of the Batman movies. The Joker said, this town needs an enema.
Okay.
So Sudbury City Hall needs a big enema. I heard perhaps 2 membership were worthy, and the rest, we need to clean house.
It's true.
A think tank is a super good idea. So we need more doers than thinkers, however, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
A meta community with multiple businesses, more expansion. And Bruce Mao, who is a world-renowned planner, basically, and designer, comes from Sudbury, and he's world-renowned on doing these things with cities, planning and organizing and making sure they make sense. And yet we haven't really reached out to him as a.
We should reach out to him to be on the show.
We should.
Because maybe he's tried and he's like, you guys are a lost cause.
I don't know. I know he just had a documentary made about him too, and they made it and they played it at Sudbury Indie Cinema recently, and he says, yeah, architecturally, an architecture university, basically an architectural university, they're already active in school projects, introducing and revamping downtown, the arena, business projects, etc. I didn't know the Sudbury Wolves had the oldest arena in the OHL. You could get people that are real big hockey lovers around the world, even Justin Bieber, like people like that. Like he's a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. But if he heard, Don Cherry played for the Sudbury Wolves and we're in a bit of a quagmire here with not being able to get an arena, someone like a Justin Bieber is a possibility.
It's true.
If you just kind of pitch him.
Yeah.
So these are the kind of things, we need to think outside the nickel.
I agree.
Kind of thing, right? Think outside the nickel.
I like it.
And bring people in that can really influence and make change. So he said you can put a big concert on or whatever, and all the proceeds could go to a new arena. Think of that. Like just one concert with Justin Bieber could almost finance, put a big contribution in anyways. Said Don Cherry could also post it on podcasts for listeners in the community.
I think
all kinds of things we could do with the city.
It's true.
Yeah.
For some reason, I never really hear about stuff going on in Sudbury. I don't know why. I just never do. So I just Googled Sudbury events, and I'm like, what's going on this weekend?
Yeah.
In Sudbury, and there's an evening of Hogwarts happening at the Caruso Club.
There you go.
It's sold out, but that sounds really cool.
They do sell out those Harry Potter themed things really quickly.
And then there's a Peter Schneider concert at Bell Park on Sunday at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Ride the Cyclone at Shaughnessy's, July 30th.
What is that? Ride the Cyclone? It sounds scary.
Yeah, that does sound scary.
Okay, well, anyways, people can look that up. I mean, just knowing there's so many things going on.
I should search it and talk about it on the show, because sometimes I don't even know what to do, and then the tickets are sold out.
Yeah, because you find out too late.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of things to do, and you were saying, hey, what's going on in the city?
Yeah.
If you have more events to talk about, go ahead. But I do have.
That's it.
So, is this Mark Sette getting a photo op here at the Coniston Community Garden? So, it's not necessarily an event, but there's a community garden in Coniston, and Mark Sette.
His hair's getting really gray.
He's getting really kind of, gray hair.
I've met with him before. He's really nice.
He's my former boss from Eastling.
Oh.
We worked really closely together. He is a super guy.
He is.
So he's, not all politicians can you say, do you know them personally? But salt of the earth guy, 100%. He was a great boss.
We need to make a list. I need to contact all these people and get them on the show.
Yeah. So anyways, he's the MP for Nickelbell.
He's always outside waving at people.
I know. when he won the election, he was out. Yeah. Everyone driving into work, him and his wife were waving to people. But speaking of events, this is what I want to get to. So
wrestling?
Pro wrestling fans will want to check out Capriol Days.
Whoa. When's Capriol Days?
Well, it's going on this weekend.
Well, that's awesome.
This weekend's Capriol Days includes live professional wrestling action at the Capriol Arena Saturday night, featuring local performer Magnum McLaren. Love the name. Alongside other local and visiting performers. While the arena will host a comic book convention as well during the day. All these comic book people.
Right. They'll be there. They'll be all dressed up.
There's a lot of comic book people out there, I noticed.
I wonder if I should tell viewers that I'll be there and I'm single, ready to mingle.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm sure Capriol would appreciate that for sure.
Funny.
100% appreciate it.
I'm looking for a farmer.
Which you are. You are
maybe.
looking for.
Oh yeah. No, I am looking for.
No, that's not a lie.
No,
so,
that's true.
So this is the thing. Yeah, here it is. You can announce it. Anybody listening or watching.
Yeah.
You're in the you know,
6 feet tall,
yeah, give it,
handsome, has either a farmer.
or someone who is capable of that at least, right?
Yeah.
Or likes it,
Yeah. Or wants to go live
wants
in the
to,
bush
kind of thing.
off grid.
A lumberjack,
Yeah,
a
lumberjack.
lumberjack farmer.
Or a cowboy.
Oh, hey, lumberjack farmer cowboy, 6 feet tall, hair color doesn't matter. I don't think
No.
could be any hair color.
Would be nice to have hair, yeah.
Would be an asset.
A beard is an asset
An
too.
asset, hair and beard.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. You've heard it here first, or not. Okay, wrestling. Maybe one of these wrestlers will fit the
If
bill.
they have really good survival skills.
Yeah, exactly. Able to defend themselves.
Yeah, that's good.
Opportunity.
What's going on there?
So here's a story that we'd have to kind of unpack about the crosses. You know, the ones on Paris Street
Yeah.
that signify someone who's passed away. Headline is, he's fortunate he's not one of the crosses on Paris Street, Sudbury man battling his addiction, court is told. So,
Something I was told that I did not know, and I'm not sure if it's true, is that a lot of the cities around Sudbury who are having issues with people with addictions, they kind of just say, hey, Sudbury has a bunch of programs, you should go live in Sudbury.
so they end up coming here.
So we end up attracting a lot of individuals who have drug addictions because we just kind of hand out drugs around here.
Well, does Blind River have a methadone clinic?
No.
Does Elliott Lake possibly? I don't know.
Maybe. North Bay?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, well, any of these Sturgeon Falls, Verner, any of these communities, you're right. I think they will come here because of, and now we have the safe injection site.
I'd like to know a
right?
little
So
bit
that-
more about that because what I think in my mind, I don't really like it. I feel like we're just enabling. When I remember when I was helping the homeless, a new homeless center downtown that got shut down by the city because
which I thought was really interesting.
they just literally hand out needles, and I get the reasoning, but I don't at the same time.
Yeah.
We're just enabling, like we're literally giving you the tools to kill yourself.
It's funny you mention that because we did talk about that on the show, and you're on the same page as what we were talking about. Was I think that is one step. I think that is.
But there's like zero support around it too.
Yeah, I think it's like I use the example. It's like saying if you really want a really productive life, get up early in the morning,
Right.
and then that's all. Well, no, you don't have a really productive life if you get up early in the morning.
No.
However, it is the start to a really productive life. And then there's other steps you need to do too. And it's the same thing with the safe injection site. Should you maybe make sure that they're not alone out there in some bathroom without supervision and just kind of pass away or whatever? Well, no. Well, if you can have a safe place to come, it's clean needles, do that. But then there's other steps that need to come after that. And rehabilitation should be one of those.
For sure. There's none of that.
Help them get off of it. Not just help them do it.
Yeah.
Really help them get off of it.
And being downtown at this homeless center, I saw how corrupt the city was. We were doing such good work.
Yeah.
And it was all volunteers. And the city shut it down because these individuals weren't going to these other locations where if these other locations didn't have 15 people, they would lose money. It was all about money. It had nothing to do. And like we'd have like healing circles and people would just share like that they're ready to be better because they felt love. They didn't feel like just a number.
Yeah.
And at these locations you can't sleep there, so there's just chairs, but you're not allowed to sleep on the chair.
Yeah.
It's just such a weird world. It's like if you really cared, because I don't feel like you really care.
No.
And when you go somewhere and you don't really feel cared for, I like believe you. You know, it's not really about you. It's all about money. It's all about moving things around. It's all political. It's very strange.
Exactly. And Minik also says we need a treatment center more than we need the safe injection site, which is part of the rehabilitation kind of idea, right? So we have another YouTube. Oh, from my buddy Noel. Hi, thanks for watching, Noel. Just to let you know, on screen, only 2 lines of your comment are going to show. And because my eyesight's so bad and the screen's so small, I can't even read your YouTube comment. But I have put it up there. And I'm sure you're saying something that's hugely important. Oh, I can read it now on the main screen. Good morning. Love the show. Oh, obviously, you tune in. Okay, getting ready for work in the morning. Perfect.
Keep bringing us the news.
Awesome. Thanks, Noel. You are awesome. Good friend of mine.
Cool.
Yeah, long friend. We're soul brothers.
Love it.
And that's a good way to keep in touch with Sudbury, right? People from Sudbury. He's working down south. Really great job. IT. He's making it happen down there. But a really great way to keep connected with Sudbury is, checking in every morning or consistently, anyways, and finding out what's happening. But yeah, we have this new safe injection site here in Sudbury, and it's controversial to some degree. However, we don't know all of the skinny on it. We don't know. We might know in a couple of years, be able to look back and say, okay, this is what kind of happened. But for now, it's here. Things are political, and it worked for a not-for-profit that had people even sleeping in there and whatever. The city shut it down, said it's not safe.
But it was safe for a bar. There was a bar in the building.
Yeah, there's a bar in the basement. It's safe for that, but it's not safe for homeless people to come out of the cold and sleep.
Yeah.
Go out. So it's not safe here, but go outside
Right.
in the winter.
And then
How is that safe?
It doesn't make any sense. And these other locations, you're not allowed to sleep there.
That's what I mean, right? You
So they
keep
have
getting
like
kicked out of
nowhere to
stuff.
go.
Yeah, this is a problem that really, if you made affordable, tiny houses type of thing, like housing that had amenities in it, water, sewer, basic shelter for people that was, nothing fancy, just a place, and it's their own. You can lock the door, so people can't get in. It's secure.
Yep.
And, that's a really good start, I think.
I remember growing up and wondering why it was so hard to help people.
Yeah.
Like,
Me
I
too.
was just like, why is this so difficult? Like, I want to volunteer. And they're like, oh, you have to do this to become a volunteer. I'm like, no, Guff, nobody wants to be a volunteer.
Yeah.
Like, it should be free to get a police report if you're going to be a volunteer for, like, it's a report. Like, this person's being paid a salary already. We're already paying for that. I don't know. It's just so silly.
Yeah. So yeah, it is true.
It's frustrating.
It is a business. The methadone side of it too. We talked about it with Pierre. It's a business. It's kind of like private healthcare within a public healthcare system, where one doctor can have a clinic and make money off of people's addictions,
So
which
they need clients.
kind of sad, very sad.
Yeah.
So this particular person, Wilson, his full name, I think, isn't just Wilson. I think that's a lot. David Wilson. So David's failed to appear at a probation meeting, or he says he ignored a probation order, failed to attend court after being charged, used 2 bad checks to steal money, was found with stolen checks, and was discovered sleeping in a stolen vehicle with fentanyl. Wilson, who's 31, however, has gained 60 pounds back on his lanky frame, looks healthy, and is addressing his addiction and health issues. In Sudbury, Wilson owned up to his bad behavior, pleading guilty in 8 of the charges he was facing. In exchange, the Crown dropped the other charges he was facing. So
Okay.
basically, he has a 4-month jail sentence. And they said they suggested 8-month conditional sentence in recognition of the improvements Wilson made in his life. Now, that's the thing, right? Drugs lead to crime and other things.
Right. So I feel like jail would probably be a safer or better place than the streets.
I think so.
There's no drugs. Well, there's
Oh.
probably, but not fentanyl, maybe,
Possibly
or not
not
heroin,
fentanyl,
like no
yeah.
needles.
Possibly
But
not. Hopefully
possibly,
not.
I don't know. I've never been to jail.
No?
No,
Okay.
I went once to do a retreat. I did like a healing circle at the teenager one there
Yeah.
in Sudbury.
For the youth or whatever.
Yeah, what's that one called?
I don't know. Oh, okay. There's a couple of them. There's Cecil Faces.
That one.
You went there?
Yeah.
Holy Nick. My goodness. Look at that. The big reveal. You heard it here first. Or not.
There's a really cool, I'm just going back to events here. There's a really cool successful leadership free workshop for managers, July 30th. You can check on Eventbrite. That's happening on Saturday.
Cool.
So if you're someone who wants to network or someone who wants to grow, that would be a cool thing to check out.
Cool.
Especially a lot of people can't find jobs or are struggling in life. And
Yeah.
life is an effort-based thing, guys. You just need to bring in more effort. Literally, that's all you need is effort.
Yeah.
You just effortly do things and you'll see your whole life change.
No. Yep.
We're just enabling doing nothing.
Yeah, it's true. You really have to have the foundational principles of being, industrious. Do something. Don't just do nothing. Find your thing and do it. Don't get permission even to do it. Just do it. Like I got interviewed yesterday. It's funny. I got headhunted on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And good morning, Julia. And also, Pam was saying that tiny houses might be a problem more than a solution because they might end up getting damaged and then cost the city to kind of repair them a lot, which you do make a good point there, but that would have to be addressed. I do think at least it needs to be discussed.
Are we having a tiny home community? Is that what's going on here?
No, I was just suggesting that for the homeless problem.
Oh, right.
Just having, just simple homes.
Here's the thing. If I'm going to give you
simple
something,
housing.
there needs to be an exchange.
Yeah.
Why do we just keep giving people money?
Yeah.
Like even people who are on assistance,
Yeah.
there should be a list of things that you have to give back to the community.
And that's the thing. I don't think it should just be a handout, this tiny home. It's like the church I belong to has a really great welfare program, but you do things back to make up for whatever you got.
You
So
have to volunteer.
Let's say you needed $200 or whatever. Well, you don't just get the $200. You get, the church actually needs some gardening done over here and whatever, and it needs a few things. Are you able, or whatever you're able to do? If you're able to do that, now that helps in two ways. So one, you get your problem solved with the bill payment you're behind on. You needed the $200. Now you also feel dignity.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting a handout.
Right.
You're actually doing something, and it's a two-way thing. So it's kind of volunteering, but at the same time, because you're getting a benefit.
That multiplies too.
Yeah.
When you're doing something for someone or helping of a service, there's something that happens within your soul that
100%.
Multiplies. You don't know who you're going to meet along the way, who you're going to inspire. And then this is stuff you could put on your resume.
Exactly.
If you don't want to live in a tiny home or on the streets.
Yep. Methadone clinic have 20-year clients. Exactly. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, it's true.
Many don't get off methadone.
That's why I always say people that I know that struggle with addiction, unfortunately, but they're kind of happy. They go, well, I'm on methadone now. It's not as bad as OxyContin.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, so do you have what are your kind of steps you have to get off the methadone now? Well, I don't really have any.
I feel like because that's not part of the whole thing.
They're told that's the solution.
Yes.
They're told, good, you get a gold star. Bing, you're now on methadone. So that's where at least you're off the other stuff. And what?
How does this make any sense?
Doesn't
This is
make any
the system
sense.
you're in, trying to help people who have drug addictions.
Exactly. To be addicted to something else.
Like, well, hello.
It's like I used to get off Pepsi, I'd go to Coke.
Is this a true story?
It is. It is. Because I thought, okay, as long as I get unused to the one, but I still get the benefits of the caffeine,
Yeah, that doesn't make
in
any
my
sense.
mind, I'm like getting off Pepsi by
Right.
drinking Coke, and then getting off this and it's all the same thing.
It's
I'm
just another
lying to
addiction.
myself.
Yeah.
That's all you do is you lie to yourself and you think, oh, I'm doing good. I want to get off. So methadone is just another drug that you're addicted to, unfortunately. Has the same benefits. That's why you're doing it, because you get high. But an interesting story yesterday. I got headhunted by a big firm,
All right.
a recruiting firm, looking for a new CEO of a blockchain media group from New York City with 150 employees, that their current CEO, couldn't take them to the next level.
Oh, sounds like a scam.
No, it was real.
What?
It was real.
This sounds like a wicked job for you.
Well, that's what my coworker said. I said, did you take it and did you BS them so you could just kind of get the job? And I said, no, I was very, very honest. And I said, I don't think I'm the candidate you're looking for, because maybe you and I would have a really great conversation and you would be impressed with what I could bring to this company. But as soon as my resume got to the board of directors, they would see that I haven't done what they're looking for in the past. And they're going to be looking for someone who's taken one of these new digital companies to the next level. That's the kind of CEO they want.
Right.
And unfortunately, even though I probably could do it, I really do feel I could have done it. Like anyone can do anything. I know that. I know they're going to look at me and she'd go, oh, I really appreciate your honesty, but she was nervous at first interviewing me. She can tell. She's like, I'm sorry we're late. I'm sorry I was a little bit late. And this and that. And this is for a multi-million-dollar digital startup, New York City, that has 150.
Wow.
They did like $500 million in sales last year and whatever.
Wow.
You know, and she's intimidated interviewing me, kind of thing. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna set the record straight real quick here. I don't know how you got me, but she said, well, you are the business development director of Sudbury News, aren't you? I said, well, yeah, I am. But it's my incarnation. I made it from the ground up.
Interesting,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
How you can create your own world
Yeah.
or reality. Like
Yeah.
it literally just happened in your life,
Yeah.
which I believe in synchronicity. So I feel like good things are coming your way, Aaron.
Well, I said, you know, I don't ask for permission. I just went out there and did it. I got all the real estate online. I got the software. I went to school to do it. I'm doing it. I'm not asking for permission. I'm not, and I said, I'm not, it never made me a millionaire. And you can see right away her face kind of dropped a bit. I say, I'm not making millions. So she expected this thing as like a huge success, making millions of dollars and something like that. So it was just interesting.
This has been your passion.
I guess it looks like to them like we are. It sounds like we are.
And
it's
but
all
look
these
what
things.
You attracted.
So yeah, I
so
guess.
You don't really need. You just need effort. You need passion. You need effort. You need to just go out and do it. And then all of a sudden, you're going to attract this, which you can make yourself seem so much bigger online. That's the benefit we have with online, and then you can attract clients. So
and that's why I shared that, because you did say just get out there and do it. Do something. Be productive and find your thing and just do it. And that's what we're doing here. So, and that's what we're going to do. Same time, same place, Tuesday morning, because Monday's a holiday. We're going to take Monday off.
Nice.
And but we'll see you all same time, same place on Tuesday. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for liking and sharing Sudbury News. Continue to do that. Like the page, Miles. You've been invited. So you just have to like it now that you've been invited. I keep noticing, we have to like the page in order to get, and follow it in order to get it out there to more people. So thanks, everyone. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you for having me.
Always awesome to be on the show. So have a great one, everyone. We'll see you same time, same place. Ciao.
Bye.